Happy New Year, 2022. It sounds strange saying it. I just figured out it was 21, let alone 22. But let me say, 21 would not have happened without you. And I want to express my gratitude on behalf of the staff, on behalf of the residents especially, that you have graciously blessed this past year. And I can think of lives that were homeless, now have a job. I can think of people where families were split up. The families are now together. Moms had their kids taken away, and now that's been restored. That's all possible because of your generosity and your heart to serve the poor in our community. So 2021 is all about what you did. And I want to just talk about a few things that took place. At the center is the gospel, because we know when the heart of man is changed, it changes the behavior. We have not compromised that the gospel goes forth in all of our shelters and all the works that we do. And we saw around 300 people this year that we know of that made decisions for Christ. So what's exciting to me, I know what eternity looks like for those individuals. We know this, that if we're going to end homelessness, people have to go to work. And I'm excited that once again, around 200 people found jobs. And one of the things we were able to do was build a brand new store in Coeur d'Alene. We looked for a building. It was completed this year. We moved in, and we're already employing some of the gals out of the shelter. And then we made a big step. We were invited to go to the Lewiston-Clarkston Valley and open a shelter. And in the process, we purchased some property that an old Sears store was on, and it was vacant. And so what we decided to do prior to opening our shelter, we opened a store down there. And it's been exciting to see that community catch a vision. We just got approval to be able to have a bridge shelter with no limit on the number of people that can stay there. So we're in the process of getting permits, zoning and all that. And the next step will be to build a shelter that will be emergency shelter for women and children and men. And then when they want to do recovery, they can come to Spokane. So that's in process. Don't know what the time frame is, but this year it was huge because we moved forward. We got the approval from the city. We have representation from a store. We're employing people down there. And so there is a huge need in the valley, no shelter. So we're seeing how that community steps forward and we can expand and serve that community as well. So as we look to the upcoming year, we've been doing really good at getting our people jobs, but it's difficult when they move out because of rent costs and inflation that we're all experiencing. Where do our people go for housing? And so the old Student Impact Center over on East Sprague, we're converting that to transitional housing. So the men coming out of our program can live together in community. They have accountability, they have support, and then they move out, and we want to see that same environment created where they support one another, because statistics tell us that if a person remains in recovery for 5 years, 85% will go on for life and be successful. Our programs are 18 months, and we want to see those individuals continue in their recovery with mentors and supportive housing. And so we've got it in Coeur d'Alene, and we want to do more here in Spokane. And that, as we look to the future, will be one of the things that we'll be focusing on, supportive housing for people leaving our campus, because housing is expensive. So that's something we want to do. I just want to say this too. I was reminded yesterday, you are a blessing. Our volunteers are a blessing. All of that makes a difference in our ministry, and you make that possible by supporting the work that we do. I'm always amazed. You give not knowing the people that stay here. You give not receiving anything in return, but because God has laid it on your heart. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to 2022 because I know there will be more individuals that not only come into the kingdom, but their lives are totally transformed because of the environment that they walk into, a place that's safe, a place without drugs. Not only is the gospel presented, but hope is offered. And so thank you that we have the support to deal with the trauma that they've experienced and send them on the road, people that have grown spiritually, physically, emotionally healed, and we can see them reflect God to the world that we live in. So you make that possible. The Lord bless you. Let's celebrate and have a great year in 2022. Happy New Year.